some bliss. Someone flicks me a bad body. So it's another one, yeah. It's a full run, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Happy New Year. It's another one. This is our Boxing Hub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
Well, good, cuz. Big up to you. Big up to Al Heyman behind the cameras. Big up to Aisha, who obviously had her show yesterday, Green Diamond Boxing. She obviously had an interview with Prince Patel. And guys, if you haven't seen it, go check it out on the channel. And also big up to Rico and Ra. The R&R hour should be back tomorrow. So guys, if you're tuned in, make sure you keep following, keep subscribing. And I'm just happy that we're doing the first roundup of the year, cuz I'm just excited. So, cuz the boxing world, of course, has a lot to talk about, but you know, I like to throw this question over to you, cuz yeah, what's the talk of the town?
Oh, there's a lot. You've got Fury and Usyk next month. You've got this month. You've got Natasha Jones and I've got her name. Name's gone out my head. Michaela. And you've also got Bertabiv and Callum Smith. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, it's looking juicy, cuz I can't even lie. Just the January month, we've got some good events, and I definitely believe you know, there's gonna be maybe a few upsets, but there's gonna be a few formalities, I believe. Cuz let's just quickly just touch up on Callum Smith and obviously Bertabiv. Cuz what's your call on that, cuz? Just come now, it's coming up.
You know me, I always back the underdog, so I'm backing Callum Smith to cause an upset. But at the same time, you know, this will be the second time Callum Smith's gone up and faced, you know, a big challenge. When he was at super middleweight, he fought Canelo. But my understanding, he only had 4 weeks' notice. But even if it was a full training camp, the results would have probably still been the same anyway. But I feel that him moving up to light heavyweight, he's more comfortable. But I feel that he can cause an upset. He can cause an upset. But just have to wait and see.
Oh, no, big up to you, cuz. And big up to Tony Ellis as well. Tony Ellis is saying, I'm excited for boxing this year. January is normally dead. I have to disagree with you, Tony Ellis. Look, January is obviously my birthday month and it's not dead ever. So, look, I generally think that this month we've got a bit of a treat. You obviously mentioned there's going to be some championship fights, both in the women's sport and also in the men's sport as well. And I agree with you, cuz an upset could happen. But then at the same time, the fan in me, I've been waiting to see Bivol versus Bertabiv for so many years. And I kind of want Bertabiv to kind of get the job done so that these two could lead on to, you know, fighting for all the belts, man, all of the marbles.
So I mean, look, Bertabiv last fought this time last year, right? He fought Anthony Yard. So he's been inactive. And when was the last time Callum Smith fought?
Oh, yeah, it's looking absolutely crazy. And look, I got to go back to Tony Ellis's point here. He's obviously saying it's dead in the boxing scene when it comes to January. But one thing we could say that is January this month, you know, has stepped up. We've got some events that we're looking forward to. So, cuz, I can't lie. So what do you think Callum Smith can actually do it? He can bring the belts home and do something Anthony Yard couldn't do, many fighters couldn't do.
See, that's the thing. I think Callum Smith has got a slim chance because, like I said, Bertabiv has been inactive. Last time he fought was a year ago, and plus he was this fight was supposed to happen, I believe, in August, but it got postponed due to, I think, injury. So already Smith has got an advantage. But yeah, he's got a good chance of winning. He's got a good chance of winning. He can cause an upset because at the moment they're talking about Bivol and Bertabiv. Remember, they're talking about Bivol and Bertabiv. But with boxing, anything's possible. They were talking about before Wilder and AJ. Look what happened. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Cause I'm not gonna lie, you always make the great points, and I have to agree with you. Cause boxing, anything happens. We thought both Wilder and AJ would win in tremendous fashion so that we can get that legendary, you know, that WWE moment or WWF moment when, you know, both fighters stand in the ring together and they have that showdown. I thought
Yeah.
we was obviously going to get that moment, but we didn't. Big up Al Heyman. He's obviously mentioning that the yard fight will have taken a lot out of Bertobiev. It's true. Lions in the camp did push Bertobiev very far, and he pushed him to a point where maybe if the fight would have carried on because of the cut, could have been a stoppage. So he obviously stepped it up and got the job done. So anything is possible. And big up to Lucy. Thank you so much for joining us. Her points is Callum Smith has been out forever, August 2022, cuz. So he's been out for a while. So both guys are not going to be, you know, sharp going into
It's
this.
a 50-50. It's a 50-50 there. In this case, it's a 50-50.
Oh, look, Tony Ellis is saying if Smith wins, he needs to fight Bivol in UK. I agree. Look, Eddie Hearn can make that happen because if he was in Eddie Hearn's shoes and hypothetically, let's say Smith got the win, where you getting this Bivol fight?
Oh, to Arena. No. Liverpool.
Oh, so okay. So you're giving him the homecoming.
Yeah, of course. Think about it. If he's beating Bertobiev, right, he's beating the man who, correct me if I'm wrong, nobody's beaten.
Oh, our Heyman's an absolute G. He's obviously mentioning that Anfield could be a location, a potential location for Callum Smith if he does bring, you know, the title home. Because anything's possible, but I can't lie. I'm just putting my realist hat on. I just don't see Bertobiev, you know, losing this fight because he sees this fight with Bivol in the horizon, and I don't think he's gonna mess it up now because I think this is the closest opportunity that Bertobiev is gonna have a chance to unify in the division. And if he doesn't win this fight, I don't think we're gonna ever, you know, see Bivol and Bertobiev. Just considering that Bertobiev is now at the late part of the 30s as well. So he's sort of coming up to maybe the end of his career. So the fight needs to happen now. That's why I'm hoping to see a win from Bertobiev, and then we get Bivol, you know, calling him out the next night. Look, I just want to see that because I can't
So
even lie.
what if Smith beats Bertobiev and beats Bivol and unifies the division? What does he do then? Does he move up to cruiserweight?
Cuz I'm not even gonna lie, that is a very, very, very good point. I think there are some potential big fights that can happen in the UK, you know, with Yard in the same division, with, you know, the rest of the lads, Buatsi, Aziz, all these guys could be fighting amongst each other, man. So I wouldn't see him moving up just yet, but what I can see is him, you know, defending the titles if he does win. And big up to Bukayo Saka as well. Bukayo Saka, absolutely love you, brother. And thank you so much for your support. He's mentioning Bertobiev is better than Smith. Look, Bukayo Saka saying it here as well. Bertobiev is better than Smith. And I genuinely think that. Cuz.
Well, at the end of the day, we'll see. We can only just wait and see because at the end of the day, Bertobiev, he beat Yard, was it round 10? He stopped in round 10, right?
Late up here, late on. Exactly that. And Lucy, thank you so much for just getting involved in the discussions. She's obviously saying Callum Smith never fights. He's had 2 fights since Canelo. Canelo's had 7 over the same period of time because we just know that Canelo is just so active. And you got examples like that proves why, you know, activity is so important. And Bukayo Saka is obviously saying Craig Richards as well, under Shane McGuigan, he's going to be even more dangerous now, cuz look, Craig Richards, let's not forget about the Spider as well, cuz let's not forget. We've got fighters.
No, I mean, look, I remember when Spider fought Bivol. I think it was a good fight. I think it was a close fight, actually.
Oh, yes. And look, we've got our brother Rico. So big up to Rico. He's obviously mentioning Callum will KO Bertobiev in round 9. No, this is the views from Rico. So guys, make sure you do follow him on his socials as well. He obviously does the boxing and banter spaces, and also does the R&R hours Thursdays on this channel. So guys, make sure you tune in. Cuz we've spoke about, you know, this potential opportunity, but look, another point from Rico. Rico's obviously saying big up for the first roundup of the year. Brilliant work, lads. Look, brilliant work from you as well. We love the energy. We love what you're doing. And we just want to bring bigger and better shows, you know, for the year so that the community can enjoy. And look, Bukayo Saka's slapping on the oranges. Rico, on the R&R hour tomorrow, get that orange shirt on so that, you know, the fans can get what they want. But let's just talk about this briefly. Haney, who should his next opponent be? There's obviously been talks of a potential fight with Ryan Garcia. I was obviously watching a Boxing Voice yesterday. Big up Ness, big up the team that's involved in that. They obviously had Haney on the show, and Haney mentioned, Bill Haney, mentioned that this fight could potentially happen without the title being on the line. So, Cuz, just give me your thoughts on that, man.
Wait. Haney fighting, potential fight with Garcia, right?
Yep.
At 140, right?
Yep.
And the belts won't be online.
No, it's just for bragging rights.
That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. See, to me, as a champion, you defend your belts, right? Your belts are supposed to be online. All right. Nah, it doesn't make no sense. If anything, I think Haney's next opponent, because he was talking about moving up to 147, right? It should either be Conor Benn, right, here in the UK. Sorry, not in the UK, in America, or Boots Ennis.
You know what? Cuz I can't even lie. I kind of want Haney to kind of, you know, have more fights at 140. I think last year he's had a tremendous year. He was my fighter of the year, of course, in terms of his opponents. He obviously defended his belt twice, and then he moved up and won his title against a credible opponent. But for me, if he's gonna fight, you know, Ryan Garcia without the belt on the line, I don't know. I don't know what to really say about that. I'm just hoping.
It's ridiculous. It's because it doesn't make sense at all. Do you know what I mean? Because you've just won the belt. If anything, fight somebody else. Don't fight Ryan Garcia. Fight somebody else. But like I said, you got Fimo Lopez. You got Matias.
Oh, look, Rico's obviously saying, I think this is his comment back to Saka about the oranges. He's saying, I washed the shirt, don't worry. Smells like Alicia Baumgartner. Now, big up. And Lucy's obviously saying, you wish it smelled like Baumgartner, Rico. Now, big up. Cuz, and Kahinde is getting involved with us. Thank you so much, brother. Happy New Year. He's saying, it's not the ideal fight, but if Haney is going to be active and will fight Lopez or Davis by the end of the year, belts should be on the line. I agree with Kahinde. Belts should be on the line. And I genuinely think that if Haney's going to have these top fights, he's going to have to meet the takeover. He's going to have to meet Matthias, who's holding the IBF belt. Like, these are legacy fights. These fights need to happen. And that's just me.
No, I totally agree. I think with that statement there, that was a silly statement. You shouldn't have said that. You know, that was a silly statement. If anything, if I'm Haney, I'm like, do you know what? I unified 135. Let me just unify 140 and then move up to 147. That's the route I'll go. Because the way I see it, for them to say, oh, they don't want the belts to be online, that means there's a possibility that they know that Garcia might beat him.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think it's the reason why. And look, I'm not sort of putting it out there to kind of just put out, you know, agendas, etc. It's obviously if you guys check out the Boxing Voice, they obviously had Bill Haney on the show, and he obviously did mention that it's 3-3 between Haney and Garcia from the amateurs. So that 7th fight is a symbolic number for both, you know, the Haney family. So the the title situation, I'm not too sure why they're saying, without the title, but I believe there's not obviously going to be any hydration clauses, and also, it's going to be, worth a lot of money in terms of a commercial value. We know what Haney brings, we know what Garcia brings, so from a commercial perspective, both fighters are going to win, like a Tank and a Garcia. It's the same sort of scenario. That's why I kind of get a type of way when people tell me about, Tank fighting Garcia, and now you see Haney potentially fighting Garcia. So look, it says a lot, man.
For real. But we'll just have to wait and see, innit?
Oh. Ooh, so Bukayo Saka is saying, did they say, look, just check out the Boxing Voice, my brother, and you will see the interview with Bill Haney on the show. So they briefly talk about it. And Lucy's obviously saying, hopefully Eddie Hearn can sign Matthias. Look, I hope it happens, cuz I hope we could see Matthias having these big fights, man. We need to see him. He's a champion. So if you got Haney moving up, and you got Takeover in that division, and you've got Matthias holding the IBF belt, surely, cuz, let's get these champions fighting so that we can have an undisputed champion at 140.
Oh, sorry to change the subject there. Tank is now officially a WBA world champion.
I think it's been promoted, yeah, from my understanding.
So it makes sense if he fights Shakur Stevens, so they can unify the division.
I want to see it happen, cuz I want to see that fight happen, honestly. But look, Rico's obviously getting involved in the discussion. He's saying, does Tank fighting Cruz for the second time make sense? Cuz for me, I'll say this first. I don't want to see Tank fighting Pitbull Cruz twice, but I do see why the purists would want to see it, because Pitbull is going to try being there for 12 rounds. And we know Tank has the equalizer, and he's been taking out a lot of his fighters. So potentially this could be a fight that can be a tough one for Tank, because they've been in the ring together, they know each other. But I still think, Tank will just get the job done in earlier fashion. But look, Haney's saying Haney's dad needs to switch to his son's ghostwriter. Look, big up Bill Haney, honestly. He's done a tremendous job just as a manager for his son. And just more blessings to them. I just think the way Haney's career has, gone up, you have to give credit to the dad. You've got to give credit to
Hold on. Just see a comment from Rico. Catchweight, I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, ain't Garcia fighting at 140?
Yeah, it is at 140. Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe it's a catchweight for both guys. Yeah, maybe it's a catchweight for both guys. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, that could make sense.
But even though, man, it still doesn't make sense, man. He's a champion. He's probably at 140, man. Makes sense. But yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. We want to see these legacy fights, man. So, and Lucy, just this final point before we go into the next topic. Lucy's obviously saying, surely the belt would be on the line. They're both 140s. Yeah, look, we agree. So look, if the team's watching, please, if Garcia's gonna challenge Haney for his title, just make it happen for the belts, please. Like, let's make it happen. And Kennedy's saying, put Tank under the spotlight ASAP. He just got emo champ status. Fight Shakur or Loma this year, or stop talking. I believe, look, we're gonna see some big fights for Tank, hopefully. And Rico's obviously saying, will Abdul actually fight someone with a purse in 2024, chat? Woo! Rico's obviously setting the fuse. And Shakur wants Navarrete. Oh, man. Look, this will be scrappers. And look, Lucy's obviously saying OHARA Davies fights for the WBA interim on Saturday as well. Look, cuz, thank you so much, Lucy, for the reminder. OHARA Davies, our boy's back, man. Or my boy's back. East Londoner. I hope he gets the job done. I think he will get the job done. He seems motivated. He seems hungry. And, what do you think, cuz?
Is he signed to Golden Boy?
I believe so. Yeah, guys, get involved in the chat. Is O'Hara Davies signed to Golden Boy? Let's get these. Let's get these.
And who's he fighting? He's not fighting Rolly, is it? Is no, no. Do you know who is it? He's fighting.
I believe it's Rolly Romero.
Are you sure? Don't think it's Rolly.
Let's get
Do you
involved,
know,
guys.
I haven't really been following, if I'm honest with you. But I don't think he was supposed to fight Rolly. That's it, fighting Barroso, the guy who wrote. Yeah, see, yeah.
Yes, Barroso. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Apologies, guys. It is yes, Barroso. Yes, O'Hara is signed to Golden Boy, and he will chain Koros. Barroso. Yes. Look, it will happen, cuz I think he should win that fight for sure. I think he's hungry. He's ready. He is ready for that fight. Yeah. All right, cuz we're gonna go into sort of the final segment of the show, of course. We've heard obviously lingers. No, actually, cuz let's do it like this. You actually put a poll up on your feeds yesterday. Could you just remind the viewers what the poll was and what the results was?
Yeah, sure. It was who should AJ fight next? Should it be Zhang, Herkovich, Ngannou, or even Wilder? And the majority of the vote, they wanted it to be Herkovich because it just makes sense. He said it, he wants to become 3 times world champion. He's now currently ranked number 2 on the IBF, whereas Herkovich is ranked number 1. Now, once we have the unification fight, I believe the IBF, they have to vacate the IBF title. So the way I see it, Herkovich and AJ will fight each other. Let's just say AJ beats Herkovich. There's a possibility that he could either fight the likes of Usyk or Fury, whoever's holding the belts. It could be Usyk, the trilogy, or it could be Fury. Or this is gonna sound mad, he could potentially fight Ngannou next and defend that belt.
Oh man, damn, that would, you know what, cuz just thinking about it, that would be absolutely mad. I think Aisha did say on the group, big up to Aisha, big up our sister from the iBoxing Hub channel. She obviously mentioned that, you know, a potential trilogy could happen between Usyk and AJ if everything kind of went in AJ's way and he fought Herkovich for that potential IBF belt. But for me, cuz, and I've said it a few times, and look, just hear me out here. Usyk has no, let's say, once he wins the undisputed title, I don't think he has nothing left to prove in the sport. He's moved up from cruiserweight, become undisputed, and then he's obviously, let's say, become undisputed at heavyweight. There's nothing else for him to do. So what I could see happening after those fights is him retiring, the belts get spread out, and look, AJ Fury could fight for one of the belts or all of the belts, or you know, however it was going to get organized. But I just don't see Usyk getting back in the ring with AJ anytime soon.
Interesting. But it really depends. You know, if Fury wins, Fury could possibly retire. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Or they could both retire. I don't know. I don't know. So, you know, can we see AJ fighting Ngannou? There's a possibility. I feel that there'll be money in it, so that could be a big fight in Saudi in March. But I don't know. Is it a high risk or low risk? I don't know.
Because you know what? Because AJ, we know he's a businessman, yeah, and Eddie is a businessman as well. Saudi Arabia, yes, it's a growing market for, you know, boxing right now. We've seen some of the biggest events happen there. But if we're gonna see this kind of fight with Ngannou potentially, the only way I could see this working for both parties is if this fight happens in Africa. Like, cuz why can't we see an event like this in Nigeria, for example, or Cameroon's international stadium? That we can see a potential opportunity like this as well.
The only way I could see that happening, I could be wrong. Like I said, if AJ fights Herkovich in March, that belt needs to be online. So once the Fury and Usyk once they fight, whoever becomes undisputed, they have to vacate that belt. But then I'm hearing that Usyk and Fury will have a rematch clause. So that means it won't be for all of the belts, it'll just be for the belts that they've got left. So how I see it, let's just say AJ beats Herkovich, right? He's gonna have to be waiting until what? End of the year. So he'll probably fight either Zhang or Ngannou, and he'll defend that IBF belt, and it could be in Nigeria or Cameroon or even Saudi.
Yeah,
I
no,
can see it happening that way.
No, definitely. And big up Rico. I think you got to bring up his last comment, Al Heyman. Yes, he's obviously mentioning that Francis is obviously ranked in the WBC. So that means in terms of the IBF, yeah, look, he knows. Just a bit of money, things can happen. So it's a big fight. Look, commercially, from a commercial standpoint, if I'm looking to break into the African market and do a big event, like do a Rumble in the Jungle too, like it's such easy promotion. It can be done. Like the resources and everything, it can be done. We saw an event like the Rumble in the Jungle back home in our country, cuz back then, with the resources back then, cuz like we're in a new era right now. Are you telling me that we can't see another global event back in Africa, cuz? Like it's just something to put out there, honestly.
Well, we can, because look, there's so many events that happens in Africa. I mean, there was even one in Ghana, I think last week.
Prince Patel, exactly. Prince Patel. Look, Platinum Promotions right now, they're showing that look, they can hold events back in these countries. So if promoters like Platinum Promotions can do those kind of events, imagine what a Matchroom, a PBC, or these bigger promotions. Like think about it, cuz it can happen. It's just right now we're kind of in a phase now where the Middle East, they're absolutely smashing it right now, and we're seeing a lot of the big fights happen there. But eventually, as someone that has African heritage, cuz I want to see these global fights back home in our countries, man. Just putting it out there, man.
So I have a question for you then. So AJ vs Ngannou, who wins?
You put me on the spot there, cuz, innit, man? All right. You know what? I'm gonna throw a little spanners in the works, man. I think if AJ is not careful, he could lose that fight. We saw what can happen against Fury when you don't really train, against a fighter who's he's a trained striker, and he's sort of been coming from that, even though he's come from a background of the MMA, striking ability is still up there. He could potentially be hitting harder than Wilder because he's just physically bigger, right?
So you reckon that Ngannou beats AJ?
I reckon on a good day he could. Yeah, on a good day he could.
So when you say on a good day, AJ has to be. So basically, what you're saying is, for Ngannou to defeat AJ must be having a bad day.
I would say if he's having a bad night and he slips up, Ngannou could win that fight. That's just my thoughts, man. I think. But if AJ continues to be the AJ which he has been for these last, 3 fights, we're seeing an upward trajectory with Ben Davison, then that AJ will get the job done against Ngannou.
Okay, interesting. Because I just think when Fury fought Ngannou, clearly, I don't know if he really done the whole 12 weeks training. I just think he didn't take him serious because he's in MMA. Do you know what I mean? But yes, Ngannou's strong. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I think, yeah, I can't see him being AJ. That's just me being honest. I think AJ probably will KO Ngannou, break him down and stops him.
Look at that. Look at that. Rico's obviously saying, stop it, stop it. Look, I'm just putting it out there. I like to kind of put it out there for the for the people, them. You know what I mean? And look, Bukayo Saka's saying never as well. We're all saying this, but look at what happened with the Fury fight.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say. Look what happened at the Fury fight. AJ, you already know, AJ will be focused. He will be focused going in that fight, fighting Ngannou. There's no way he ain't gonna mess around. He's gonna be focused. You know, there's no way. And not even that, all the respect, I think it'll be an easy fight unless he gets caught with a perfect shot. I think it'll be an easy fight, honestly.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, big up the people, them obviously getting involved, of course. Cuz, just before we kind of wrap up the show, is there any sort of final points you want to sort of put out there in terms of, you know, what's happening in boxing? Normally, why I normally ask you, in fact, did you see anything online that you just thought, you know what?
Yes.
We've got to discuss this.
I saw a video of Fury arriving at Saudi. He looks ready, you know. I think because I haven't seen Fury on social media for a while, I think he looks trimmed. I think he's ready. I think we're going to see one of the best Tyson Fury performance. I think he's most likely going to control this fight, and yeah, I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win. I can't. Yeah, Fury's just too big. He's just too big. And he's got boxing brains. He's not stupid. He's smart. His IQ's on point.
Yeah,
And not even that, he's a switcher.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I think, just based on, the heavyweight scenes, based on all the heavyweights that's, active right now, you would have to put Tyson Fury up there in terms of his, ability, skill, his resume, what he's achieved. He's up there. But because, me, I keep my views very consistent. Usyk, for me, I see him becoming the undisputed champion, man. I just think what Fury likes to do, the psychological warfare, that's obviously part of his game. And what Usyk is doing with that is kind of using that as a way of sort of brushing it off. But him brushing it off, I think it gets a little bit under Fury's skin. If you kind of watch the press conferences, the interviews, I think that the fact that Usyk also doesn't, go back and forth with Fury, because Fury likes someone that, back and forth, just going at it. Usyk don't bring that energy. He's a very smart fighter. He's a humble fighter. And I generally think that he has the abilities to, cause an upset. I think he can cause an upset, man. Not a stoppage or knock down Fury. I don't see that happening. I see him points victory, fighting smart, using his feet, and frustrating Fury. And we're gonna see what Usyk is really made of, because Fury's gonna bring the heat. And let's see what happens when the two worlds collide, man. But I genuinely think what Usyk is doing, he's daring to be great, and what he's potentially doing is something that you can replicate with the real deal Holyfield, coming up from cruiserweight and, being undisputed across those two weight divisions. Legendary stuff, man. So I got nothing but respect for Usyk, man, honestly.
Fair enough. May the best man win.
May the best man win. Yes. And obviously big up Rico. Rico's obviously reminding the people that Prince Patel fought in Africa. He is the Girth King. So that's a little thing that them two got. I don't even know. But Lucy, once again, thank you so much for getting involved. If Usyk wins Olympic gold, and then cruiserweight undisputed, and then heavyweight undisputed, literally he's gonna have one of the greatest careers ever. And Lucy, I agree with you. And that's one of the reasons why I love Usyk's resume and story, because he kind of achieved what he wanted to achieve out there in the sport. Because if you think about it, when he was even at cruiser, thinking about campaigning at heavyweight, who was his target? His target was AJ. He targeted AJ for years, studied AJ for years, fought AJ twice, beat AJ twice, conclusive. So that argument's out the way. And now he's got the pathway now to become undisputed. And if he does it, what a tremendous story. I would want to see a Netflix documentary on that, definitely.
Yeah, man. All right then, guys. Well, listen, it's time for what? We're ending the show now, but we've got the R&R show, I believe tomorrow, Recon Raw, and then we're back here again on Sunday at 7:30, and then Green Diamond, our sister Aisha, she's back on Monday, I believe, 7:30. Guys, just remember to like, share, and subscribe. And have a lovely, productive week. And Happy New Year again. Peace and love.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. Light up my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me.